Hello, everybody. Today we are here for a webinar on the role of the arts in the campaign for Palestine. With me here today, we have two distinguished guest speakers. Uh, First is Aida Redza. She's a familiar face in the Penang dance and art scene, and she has also taken part in a lot of social campaigns, using dance as a medium of expression. And also with me today is Yafa, a Palestinian from the West Bank who is studying multimedia, doing a PhD in multimedia. And she's also a co-producer in the Sumud events, which have taken place in Penang and KL. So first, let me ask Aida, tell us a bit about her work and how she sees dance as and the larger arts as a campaign tool for Palestine.
Yeah, thank you, Anil and Aliran, for having us in this meaningful talk. I see myself as a dance artist, but also an activist, a cultural activist, if I can say that. I work at an intersection of body, memory, and community, and mainly to find ourselves in my choreography to be in resonance with what is happening around us and also in the world. So my work has always been about creating spaces where people can reconnect with themselves through movement, through expressions, through presence, through feelings and listening. So over time, this has become or has extended to my my direction, or that my artistic practice kind of informed how I like to speak about the things that's happening around me, where I feel I feel uncomfortable and I wish to say something. I mean, I found that connection and extended it through my artwork, this need to say something about the situations. And it doesn't have to be loud and confrontational. I find that through my artwork, I can create care through witnessing and holding space for the things that I feel strongly about and am against. So my engagement with Palestine in this sense comes from that same place. It's not separate from my artistic practice. In fact, it's a response to what I feel as a human. And I feel that when there's an urgency to not remain silent, I go to my art and I use it to carry that response with sensitivity and depth. And so, relating to the war and genocide, we can't stop it. We can't stop it, but we can try not to remain silent. Yeah, that's yeah.
And how would you gauge the impact of the campaign so far using your arts, especially dance, in the recent Sumud festival? What was the public reaction?
I think that Sumud in Penang had a very great impact, especially it was the first, how do I say, art and culture solidarity event where we Malaysians were collaborating in a way with Palestinian artists to create the event. And this is very rare, especially in Penang. Art, as we all know, has a powerful role, especially when language and politics has reached its limits. It has the ability to humanize, to bring us closer to stories that, in other ways people feel distant, they don't understand, they can't relate, and they find it too abstract. So at Sumud, we find that with all our programs, with the workshops that we did, the visuals of the film, and during Echoes of Palestine, which was one of the programs that closed the event of Sumud, we had dance and we did the Dabke dance from Palestine. And all these expressions was able to create feelings. And that feeling is important because it creates empathy. And empathy is what connects us across borders. Right. So that impact, I feel was relevant. It is much needed in Penang. And it was not just on between, how do you say, it's not just about Palestinian, it was about Malaysian voices. And not just the Malay Muslim voice, but more broad, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, multi-religion community expressing and voicing for Palestine. And I think that was really a great opportunity. We thank Aliran and we thank all our donors and sponsors. We did not just we did not do it just on the scale of sharing the culture, but we were also able to fundraise and send some of the donations across to Gaza. Yeah.
Thanks, Aida. Yafa, I'd just like to ask you tell us a bit about your background and how you got involved in becoming a co-producer for Sumud.
Okay. I will speak about like my experience as Yafa, as normal Palestinian. Okay. For me, I came from that family. It's like that we always, like my parents, involved in politics. So, but in somehow like it was not Palestine and our issue. It was not something just we talk about it, something really we live in. So I grew up going to protest, reading poetry, attending also cultural festival and art exhibition about Palestine and about us as Palestinian. So also I like participate in traditional Palestinian thought showcase in public space, and of course of course like things like boycott. Sorry for my English. Boycotting also was part of our daily choices until not like was, we still like do it. So what I want to say, like as Palestinian, also especially as me and my family, art was something really we lived, like we resist as Palestinian in different way. So I want like to speak especially about art, like we cannot separate art from all these situations. So art for us is resistance. So what really I believe, like art and culture have a huge potential in supporting Palestine struggle, because art is how we reach people as a human level, as what Aida mentioned before, and also how to tell our story, who we are, not like who we become now, because I think now like our image is different as how we want to present it. So because that, even I studied multimedia, I find it a way to express more about myself and our situation. So this is the reason why I'm still like in multimedia field. So what I want to express also, sorry. Sorry. So I believe I really like as how what I mentioned, like art is a way to tell our story, also like where we are coming from. So we are not just headline, we are not just like we are not just start our situation from October 7 or even 1948. We have deeper history. We are the owner of this land, and we are still continuous in this to identify our identity and our culture. So today, and even before today, as Palestinian, we use art as our weapon. So with art, we have that power that it can make people move, or they can create, art can create empathy, solidarity, or something even more like anger, or we give them shock. And this is important because after that, people, they can go, they can read, they can do their research, they can do like reading, so they can know more about it. So we can increase awareness by art.
Mhm.
So if we like, because that a lot of Palestinian artists have been targeted and targeted by Israel or occupation. Even some of them, like, they killed them because they are used the art as the way of resistance.
Mhm.
So yes.
Mhm.
So in a sense, you are, I don't know whether there's much room for the arts now in the West Bank or even Gaza. So in a sense, like, you are like a flag bearer for the arts from Palestine. Could you tell us, is there anything happening in the arts in the West Bank or Gaza, or is it just people overseas who are trying to keep the arts alive for the Palestinian cause?
Yeah, always you can find like a lot of artists. I can say some names like Muhammad Sabah. He even like Israeli take him to the jail for a while just because he drew caricature. So even after that, they cannot stop him. He make a book after about that experience. He stayed several months in the prison because his art. This is until now. Like even one of my friend, he is a filmmaker, so now he is in the jail, in the prison because of that. So we use it even in Gaza. We use the art, we use the storytelling when we go even through the social media and say the story, like how we want to say it in our way. So this is kind of resistance. So there is a lot of artists from Gaza, from West Bank, even from, we say Palestinian who live in 1948, this land means Israel. So they did a lot of art. A lot of them, they go to jail or they have some kind of punishment. Like some of them, they are not able to travel. But this tool in theater, music, song, drawing can reach different area, reach like different people from different even like beliefs. Because sometimes if I speak with you with, for example, some people, they use religion to speak about Palestine, it can go to part of people. But as like what we mentioned, like art, there is no religion behind it, no language behind it. It's easy to for everyone to understand. Because that Israel, like several times, they stop events, cultural one, like before a few months in Jerusalem, they stop theater was just some song related to Palestine. They enter the theater, they stop them, they give them just 5 minutes to make the space empty. Why? Because songs can make people like maybe angry, maybe we want to go and do things. So simple thing can create a big impact.
Yeah.
Okay, so Aida, maybe you could tell us a bit about the dance which you perform at Sumud in Penang, and also for people who want to catch your next performance, or what are your plans for the coming year, and where should people look you up?
Yeah, so at the Echoes of Palestine in the Sumud program that we did for the festival, the Solidarity event, we did an interpretive dance to Paul Catafago's poem called Remember Us. Paul is known for his poetry of resistance. And for me, to be given that opportunity to move to his poem was a great, yeah, as I say, a special, meaningful moment, a process, a deep process of really reflecting and feeling and thinking. It was for me a way that I could express, you know, in our opinion, or our perspective, how it is to resist erasure, is through remembering, through celebrating, holding their memory, keeping the identity alive. And in that sense, this quiet, persistent form of resistance comes through the dance to Paul's Remember Us. And we can share, of course, in your caption, Remember Us, the poem. It really touched people when we performed it. We managed to present it through Lavinia and Dr. Muntas. They presented it at the Georgetown Literary Festival opening. And then they performed it again at Echoes of Palestine at Hinbas in 2 evenings, 2 performances. So we are taking this, as you mentioned, we're now working on taking the whole Sumud Solidarity event to Kuala Lumpur. And we are part of the KL Fest that's coming up in May. And our event is also in conjunction with the Memorial Day or the Nakba. Yeah.
Yes.
So it will be on May 15 to May 17. And that's where we're going to present Remember Us again. Other than that, we also did the Dabke dance, and that's a more, if you know, it's also the form of the dance is it's stamping. It's very strong and powerful, but it's a soft, powerful dance to show people coming back and reclaiming their life, their identity, their culture. So and this refusal to silence a whole community, a whole people, we would say the human, and through dance and through stamping is really how do you say, it is also a butterfly effect. It causes people wanting to join in and wanting to be part of that dance. So that was why we did it also at the closing of Georgetown Literary Festival. That's the dance is not just Palestinians dancing, but it really call for all of us to stand up and join in. So that you will see in KL, but this time in Penang, we had Ahmad Masood who led us, and that was wonderful because we learned it firsthand from a Palestinian artist. This time again, a step up because Ahmad is a theatre director and a writer. This time we're going to have dancers from the Al Funon Dance Theatre, and they're like one of the best, and Yafa could talk about them, one of the best dance theatre and the oldest dance theatre that survived through all this whole time from the 1940s on their own without any funding, and they're still continuing Dabke dance. And that's very special. So they are coming all the way from Gaza.
From Ramallah, yes, correct.
Ramallah. And they're performing first in Singapore with Dabke Singapore, and from there they will come to Kuala Lumpur, and we will be joining the dance. We've been learning it through the video, through online, and when they come, we will perform 5 Malaysians and 2 Palestinian and a Singaporean. So yeah, that would be an exciting thing with dance.
Wonderful. So thank you very much for being with us today, and we wish you all the best in your campaign. Thanks.